It's time you learn the truth about the Great Tribulation and the Rapture. This doctrine comes from Daniel's 70 weeks prophecy in Daniel chapter 9. The angel told Daniel 70 weeks or 70 periods of 7 years are decreed on your people, Israel, and on your holy city, Jerusalem. Daniel lived about 500 years before Jesus, and this is a prophecy about Jesus in approximately 500 years or 490 years. Daniel was told that in 500 years Jesus was going to come and finish disobedience, sins, to reconcile for iniquity and bring in everlasting righteousness. He would also end or seal up vision and prophecy and open the door to heaven. From the time that Cyrus told Israel that they could rebuild the temple until the time that the temple was built would be within 7 sevens or 49 years. After the 7 and 62 weeks, then Jesus, the Anointed One, would be cut off, and then they were going to wait until the city and the sanctuary was destroyed. 7 plus 62 is 69, so the final week in the 70 weeks prophecy was the final 7 years, the Great Tribulation of 7 years. That 7-year Great Tribulation for Israel and Jerusalem started in 66 AD and ended in 73 AD. It was the Roman-Jewish War. And in the middle of that week, sacrifice and offering ended when the city and the sanctuary was destroyed in 70 AD. The abomination of desolation is mentioned in Daniel 9:27. Jesus told his apostles that they were going to see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel. And when they saw it, they needed to get out of the region of Judea because that was a regional destruction in Israel and Jerusalem, and it was never about a worldwide tribulation. Jesus also told his apostles in the same text that they were going to see the sign of the Son of Man in the sky, and it would be at this time in their first century generation that the chosen ones were going to be gathered from the sky, from one end to the other. That's the rapture. It already happened. And Jesus told his disciples that their first century generation would not pass until all these things took place. In the same conversation, Jesus also made mention of the Great Tribulation spoken of by Daniel. Daniel 12:1 says the Great Tribulation was only for Daniel's people, Israel. This whole conversation between Jesus and his disciples was sparked when Jesus said the second temple that they saw in the first century standing was going to be utterly destroyed. And when Jesus told his disciples the temple was going to be destroyed, they asked when was he going to return to destroy the temple and bring the end of the age. Jesus answered very plainly, "Most certainly I tell you, this generation will not pass until all these things take place."